Have you on?
Morning, Hugh. Great to be with you.
CJ Box is coming up next hour, and I've never asked you, do you read thrillers? Are you a thriller reader?
I'd like to be, but no, I do not.
Okay, start with CJ. It's not SEALs and it's not spies. He's just a game warden, but start with CJ Box. So, Congressman, before I go to your anti-lockdown act, which is overdue and very timely, and I want to talk about it, Mike Pompeo got asked by Sean Hannity last night if he's running in 2024. So I got to ask you, have you ruled out a presidential run in 2024?
I'd say yeah, pretty much. It doesn't seem very tempting.
You're kidding me. People are expecting you to run.
I don't think so. I don't know. It's not tempting. It's also 4 years away. I don't think it's. I think we're tripping all over ourselves trying to figure out who's going to be on the ticket in 4 years, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Do you know why that is? It has the feel, Congressman, of an end. It has the feel of W after 2 terms and Obama after 2 terms, where you know that the incumbent won't be in the race. And so the race starts very early because you're not running against an incumbent with the uphill that it matters. It's not 2012 and it's not 2004. People assume Joe Biden won't be running again. That's why there's speculation.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment. I don't know. I think there'd still be speculation, but I think you're right. I mean, I think Joe Biden would probably agree with you too. I'm sure it certainly seems that way. I just don't put a whole bunch of thought into it. We're all getting asked this a lot. Like, who's the leader now? Who do we follow? Follow yourself.
Yeah, I always frame it this way. Have you ruled it out? Because if you've ruled it out, that's great. And if you haven't ruled it out, that's fine too. But it keeps people without saying who's the leader. Because I think it's silly to predict leaders at this point. I mean, a meteor could hit the United States by 2024.
Well, right. But you see a lot of people like, is Trump still the leader? I mean, that's the real question, right? Is Trump still the leader? And it's, well, I mean, not technically, no. I mean, who was the leader of the Democrats before Biden was president? I mean, was it Pelosi? Was it Schumer? It's not clear. It's not meant to be clear. I think there's a lot of pushing and pulling from either side of the party, and I think everybody needs to chill just a little bit and let it happen as it will, because something will emerge. But yeah, I would say pretty much ruled it out.
Now, let me okay, that's great. I'll take a ruled out. I want to know another political question. We have governor races in Virginia and New Jersey, and we're going to have a recall in California. Dan Crenshaw draws a crowd. Will you campaign in those states? Will you come out and help, say, Rick Grinnell in California or Kevin Falconer or somebody, whoever you like out here?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't put much thought into it, but I like Rick a lot. So, why not? I think they're still sorting out the recall, but man, that'd be great. I love going back to California. I lived in California for 10 years. So
yeah, you SEAL Team 3? Were you 3?
Yep, I was SEAL Team 3.
No, they have a great tradition. Now, Congressman, let me ask you about your anti-lockdown thing. First, the president called Texans Neanderthals yesterday. What'd you make of that?
Yeah, the guy with low cognitive capacity is calling everybody else Neanderthals. First of all, that's rich. I also find it rich that he's doing his sanctimonious pearl clutching over a bunch of Texans who, by the way, can still wear masks. I mean, but by the reaction of the liberals on this one, you would think that Texas outlawed masks and is now arresting people who even wear a mask. Of course, that's not true. Most people will still be wearing them, but the truth is, if you're vaccinated or if you already had it, maybe you don't want to wear a mask, and you certainly don't need to. There's no scientific reason to wear one. I do remember the time when the guidance was, if you can't socially distance, wear a mask. Of course, that changed rather quickly. And but here's the thing: so they're very sanctimonious over that, but Biden has no problem letting illegal immigrants over the border in droves, many of which have COVID, and then they give them a bus ticket to wherever they want in the United States. So the double standard is pretty infuriating here.
So there's a lot in there, Congressman. First of all, the guy with low cognitive capacity, that's pretty rich. That is going to make a couple of headlines, don't you think?
I don't know.
I guarantee you, low cognitive capacity.
It gets said so often. I'm not sure that it's a new hot take anymore.
Oh, it's a hot take from you, Congressman. That's going to be interesting. Prepare for incoming.
They call this Neanderthal.
I know. I know.
What do you want?
Okay. The second thing is that letting illegals over the border and releasing them, that's absolutely true. And I don't know if Americans know that dozens of people detained at the border tested positive and were released.
Yeah, it's happening on a daily basis. You know, look, here's the real problem. The Democrats want open borders, and they really do. This is no longer speculation. I don't think we need to read the tea leaves on their intent and motivation on the border right now. They want more illegal immigrants coming in because every action they take produces that outcome. They ripped up the agreements we have with Mexico and with the Northern Triangle countries. These agreements were saving us. They've reversed the process that Trump's DHS meticulously created to prevent catch and release, and to get these asylum hearings done right away. And they reverted back to the old ways of just releasing everybody. It's like, show up. It'd be nice if you showed up to your court hearing, your second one, or your third one. This, in all practical reality, produces indefinite stays inside the United States, an entire new generation of illegal immigrants that are here now. This is a completely unsustainable model. Everybody knows it. We've even got Texas Democrats going on Fox News and saying, look, you have to stop this. You have to reverse it. It's harming the communities down here.
Now, I got to ask you, Congressman, my friend Brian Ferguson, who I think you know, told me about hot washes that the SEALs would do about every operation they ran. If you did a hot wash on the COVID vaccine rollout, what do you think would show up first as something you would do differently?
Huh. I mean, I'm not close enough to it to really make that assessment. It does seem, though, like every prediction the Trump administration made came true. Whatever prediction, whatever plan they said was in place, we appear to be following it almost exactly. Now, the Biden administration keeps saying they had nothing and keeps saying they improved upon it. They never say what they did to improve upon it. You notice that? Probably because they did nothing, and they hate to admit that they were basically just handed a plan that was decent enough. Look, any plan has to be managed as it goes on a day-by-day basis. So, sure, give them credit for managing the plan that was given to them and the vaccines that were high performing and handed to them right away as soon as they took office.
107 million doses have been delivered and 80 million have been administered in the United States. Team Biden could not have come up with that. That simply cannot be possible.
No, I mean, and they were also lying on their first day of office, saying, there was only 500,000 doses. We need to get it to 1 million. But the day Biden took office, 1 million doses were being given out. So
what does the lockdown bill do? What does the anti-lockdown bill do that you introduced?
Well, it's two things. One, requires states to simply have a reopening plan if they're going to get bailout money for their state and local governments. Okay, so let's be clear. This is only money to the state and local governments that it's tied to. It's not tied to healthcare money. It's not tied to PPP money, any of that. The second thing that it does is prevents the president from unilaterally doing a national lockdown. It would have been easy to write a bill that just says, hey, it's illegal to have lockdowns, but there's constitutional issues with that. So we actually thought through the constitutionality of this. It's actually pretty reasonable. Look, will Democrats even look at it? No, of course not. They scoff at it. They're in love with lockdowns. They think lockdowns are their savior. The premise behind this bill too is lockdowns don't work. Look, if there was some good rationale for this, if they were truly saving lives and stopping the spread, you could at least have a decent debate. I still like to err on the side of personal choice and liberty over safety. I mean, of course, Hugh, I can keep you very safe if I put you in a jail cell and never let you leave. I will make sure you are safe. But the reality is, even that's not a good argument because they don't work. And study after study has shown this. One of the more recent ones, pretty large study from Stanford, shows there's no additional benefit to stay-at-home orders or closing businesses. There just isn't.
I will be interested to see who co-signs and whether or not you'll get any Democrats. You might. Otherwise, they're going to lose their seats. Congressman Dan Crenshaw from Texas, always a pleasure, Congressman. Keep coming back. Whether or not your hot take is old, it certainly is news, and I appreciate your making it on the Hugh Hewitt